Where are all the others? Smashing up the place, are they?
Some are in the kitchen trying to rustle up some food. Some are in the rec room and some are having a sleep. Everything's under control. You see, we're really quite civilised.
Civilised. Well, I hope you don't include that one in that statement.
You bitch! Get it done. We'll wreck the whole deal.
Just give me a couple of minutes alone with her. I won't leave a mark.
Why don't you go along to the kitchen and see what's happening there?
This siege isn't going to last forever, Gaffney. We'll soon be back in charge. I'll make your life hell.
If you're still around.
Kitchen! Try not to stir her up too much, Mrs. Powell. You see, I won't be around all the time.
What did you say before?
How do you think it'll go?
Who knows? Peterson's sensible. She'll do what she can. How did they treat you in there?
Gaffney was a bit edgy, but she knew what to expect if she went too far.
What are the conditions like in there?
Surprisingly calm. If things had been handled properly in the first place, they wouldn't have had the time to settle down.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes?
I'm Sergeant Hanley. I have a warrant here in the name of Mrs. Elizabeth Josephine Birdsworth. She's to appear in court on a charge of arson.
Well, that is out of the question, Sergeant. As no doubt your superiors are aware, there is a siege going on here. Mrs. Birdsworth is in there with the others. So you will just have to wait.
I'm only following orders, ma'am.
It's essential we draw up a list of demands, as Bea said, and open negotiations.
What are our chances of a bust out?
None, not with the reinforcements they've got out there. And with the whole world knowing we've got a siege, we wouldn't last a day.
We'll just have to make the best of it, I suppose. Better go and find Sandy. She won't be too happy about being left out of the action.
Can I leave you to go and find her and explain?
Where are you going to be?
I've got to make sure the hostage gets fed.
Oh, right. Well, while you're in the kitchen, see what you can do about getting some food for us, will you? I'm bloody starving.
Right.
There you are. I've been looking all over the place for you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to find somewhere with a bit of peace and quiet so I could work out what we should ask for.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. The screws took a telephone call from Bea Smith. Now, she wanted to talk to you, but we couldn't find you, so we sent Kate Peterson over instead.
Well, why the hell didn't you try to find me? I couldn't have been far away. Besides, Kate's not like the rest of us.
Yeah, well, I reckon she can handle herself all right. Anyhow, I'm not so stupid to send one of our women over without some kind of insurance. So we had them send Powell over in exchange.
What? How did she behave?
Like a little lamb.
Well, in future, if something like that happens, I want in on it. Understand?
Yeah, all right. Now, listen. Bea reckons we ought to present our demands as soon as possible. She reckons if we don't, the press is going to go sour on us and the screws are going to be forced to take action.
Yeah, well, she's right. I've just about finished my list. Give us a couple more minutes and I will give it to you and the others to check over, OK?
I was thinking, what about sending Lizzie over with a list?
Oh, why not? The old bag wants to stay neutral, so we might as well put her to some good use.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll find her and put it to her myself.
Hey, listen. I reckon we oughtn't let the screws come back without giving them a bit of a headache. What do you say I let the women loose on the files? We could even wreck the staff room as well. I mean, we're going to cop it anyway, so we might as well make it worthwhile.
Yeah, OK. But don't go too far. I don't want any more fires lit, OK? Just so they let off a bit of steam.
Righto. Oh. Well, you heard the boss. Let's get moving.
I'm thinking of sending Lizzie Birdsworth across to the Screws with the list of demands. Have you seen her?
No, I haven't. Have you tried the rec room?
Oh, no. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, and I'm bloody staying here too.
But I've got this little job I want you to do.
Well, you can jam it. I told you I'm not getting mixed up in your bloody riot.
But this is different. Look, we're going to send a list of demands across to the Screws, and I want you to take it.
Well, I'm staying here, Pat. I don't want to get my head shot off.
Oh, don't be a dill, Lizzie. You'll only be acting as a messenger. You don't even have to bother coming back if you don't want to.
What? Stay over there with the Screws? If I had a choice of staying with them or you lot, I'd stick with you lot every time.
Well, you can please yourself. But if you do decide to go over, you'll be helping to get the siege over and done with.
Oh, well, all right. Don't suppose it'll be doing any harm. But I'm not going to do anything else, so don't you ask me any more favours.
I won't. Thanks. Look, I'll send for you when I'm ready. Will you still be here?
As a matter of fact, I was thinking of going and do a bit of fishing. Of course I bloody well be here.
Okay.
This place isn't what it used to be.
Well, if we're going to do it, it'll have to be tonight. Otherwise, we'll give them another full day, and that'll give them too much time to organise their defences properly.
And what about the risk to Steve and Janet? Well, they're still in there. If you storm the place, they could be used as shields, hostages. They could get killed. I've seen it happen before.
Now, come on, Meg. We're just as concerned about their safety as you are. We've already taken that into consideration if you just listen to the plan.
Go ahead, Mr. Fletcher.
Right, well, when it gets dark enough, I'll slip into the prison through the trapdoor on the roof. Now, it's locked from the outside, so that shouldn't present any problem. Now, when I get hold of Steve and Janet, I'll signal Chief Inspector Thorne and he'll start the attack. In the confusion, we'll get out the same way as I got in.
Well, how can you signal if you're inside the prison?
We'll both be carrying walkie-talkies, so we'll be in constant contact.
And how are you going to get onto the roof?
Well, I'll shoot a grappling hook up from here and climb up the wall.
You're going to be seen.
We'll be installing floodlights at these points here and here. Now, as soon as Jim makes his move, I'll cut off the power inside and out. That'll give him sufficient protection.
What sort of an attack will the assault on the prison take?
Well, I'll be leading the attack from here. We'll fire in tear gas grenades and then we'll storm the place.
Firearms?
We'll be carrying them, yes. But we'll only use them as a last resort.
I've heard that before. What if the women overcome one of your men and gets hold of his gun?
With my men, that won't happen.
I still don't like it. I think we could get the same result with a negotiation.
Well, a couple of hours of daylight left. We'll try it your way until it's good and dark. But after that, I'm afraid, we'll have to obey the minister's orders.
You want to grow up to be big and strong, don't you?
Oh, very funny. What's in it anyway?
Well, sort of an Irish stew. A mixture of camp pie, baked beans, peas, plums, pineapple, a few corn cobs. Tastes rotten, doesn't it?
Well, that's going to have to change. We're all going to get food poisoning. They're going to have to send over fresh food every day. We'll cut that hostage up a bit.
Well, I don't suppose he'll taste much better.
What are you making?
What's it look like? A white flag.
What for?
Well, if I have to take your list of demands to the Screws, I'm not crossing no man's land without some sort of protection.
Oh, you don't think they're going to fire on you, you silly old bag?
I'm not taking any chances. They'll never shoot at a white flag. It's an international sign of peace. My late husband blossomed